They keep giving me copyright strike. Hey, how y'all doing? Get up in here Sunday afternoon. Let me know if you up in here and if y'all can hear me. Cause listen, I'm excited. This is a good one right here. This is like one of them transparency videos. So if you wonder a lot of, which I don't know, because I'm always talking about myself. So I don't know if y'all be wondering about me still or not. But yeah, get up in here. Get up in here. I am the police say, and I need y'all to pay me some motherfucking attention today. Cause yeah, you did the Sunday talk. What is the title? What is the title? You can burn, earn, and learn a lot by being this. Yeah. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Somebody, I don't know, at least one of y'all, somebody get up in here. Let me know because I don't want to be talking for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Ain't said nothing to nobody but myself. Let me know if y'all can hear me. If you can hear me and you can hear the rain in the background, I apologize. We're having a nice rainy afternoon here. I'm really enjoying it myself personally. You know what I mean? It looked good out there to me. It looked good. It looked good. It felt good too. It was feeling good till it started getting a little bit too wet inside the RV, and so I had to close it up. But nonetheless, earning, learning, burning. Hey, that means y'all can hear me today. Thank you. I'm so happy I got a voice. I'm so happy I got a voice, and I'm so happy to be able to use this voice to motivate, inspire, encourage somebody somewhere to remember that you a badass, and let's keep going. So, what is it that you can be that could cost you? It could, everything, right? We live in a duality, so everything that we experience could ultimately be good or bad. It's all about how we look at it. What seat are we sitting in? So today we're gonna talk about vulnerability. Vulnerability is the one thing that is necessary, okay, when you play a role that I play, or like I play, where you are to serve others. Okay, so those of us who are on this planet and we have an innate need to serve others, like it's just in us, and you can't even help yourself. One of the things that's necessary is for you to be vulnerable, but being vulnerable also has its not so beautiful side. And in order to become balanced within ourselves, we have to go through the journey of learning how to be, first of all, vulnerable at all points, even when we're hurt, disappointed, um, let down, not feeling our greatest, but we have to maintain openness, right? Vulnerable. Matter of fact, I had the definition. Hold on, where I put it at? I had definition right here. Go. I'm gonna put the technical definition to be vulnerable means it got a technical definition. Hold on, y'all know everything got a technical definition. To be vulnerable is to be susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. Okay, so being vulnerable is necessary because remember the keyword emotion, right? So when you deal with serving people, you typically have to do that from where? Your emotional space, right? Because it comes from the heart. It's an emotional thing. It's not something you're thinking about. It's not something you're planning, right? Like I never plan somebody's crises. I'm just open to support those in crises, right? Because that's how I'm set up. But I'm not sitting around thinking, I wish somebody would have a crisis right now and call me. That's never a thought of mine, right? And so, in order to be in the flow with service, I have to be constantly open, which means emotionally, I am always vulnerable to people who may not be that emotionally mature. And so, there comes a need to learn to protect yourself, to isolate yourself, to distance yourself and disconnect from people because I also innately, right? I have Neptune in the 12th house. I innately connect to people all around me. Like I don't even want to, just do. And I do this on a very deep level, which is a vulnerability, because it could also serve as a harm for me. Because if you're vulnerable, people can harm you, right? Listen, vulnerability to most people looks like an opportunity to capitalize. And that's just the truth. When people find someone who is genuinely a kind natured person, unfortunately, they see a come up. When people see someone who is just honest in nature, they see a fool. When people see someone who is just caring, just care, I just care, people think you're a fucking weirdo. Okay? When you walk around and you're just smiling all the time, people think that that's a problem, right? Why are you so free? Why are you so? For people who need your energy, they oftentimes are abused or not necessarily aware of what they need, and they've been taken advantage of in vulnerable places too. And so they're incapable of appreciating your vulnerabilities. But you have to still maintain those. And this is where the discipline, self discipline, of setting boundaries comes in, where you have to learn to recognize what works for you, what doesn't, what feels good to you, what doesn't. And you can understand and say, hey, that's not for me. Even if you're just saying this to yourself, because you don't necessarily have to announce it to people, but you have to understand it for yourself. Case in point, I'm a person who appreciation is very important for me. I don't necessarily care about money because I know it's fake, but I do care to be valued and appreciated. And so, therefore, if I sense that I'm either neither or lacking in either one from a person, then I typically will distance myself from that situation. Not for any other thing except for my own protections, because what I have learned is where you give and you are appreciated, that is where you should be giving, where it feels good. But if it doesn't feel good, then you shouldn't give. And this is how you protect your vulnerabilities. However, when you go through life and you're this vulnerable person and you're open and things happen to you, the number one thing that most of us do is shut down, because this is how we protect ourselves. It's an over defense. And now you feel even more uncomfortable than when people use you. And this is why I say this: being vulnerable can earn you things, okay? It can learn you things, but it can also burn you in ways. And the reason why I chose burn, because when we look at burning for me is a refining, okay? It's like a diamond can't become a diamond without some heat to it. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, it's gonna have to be down in some darkness. All of that stuff has to happen. And so when you look at your vulnerability, you can embrace it when you understand that it is a gift and it is a superpower. But the truth is that not everyone is actually deserving of it. And this is where you have to learn to set boundaries, to recognize what is and isn't for you. Because for some people, most people who are just natural givers, they're not looking for anything, they're just of service. However, some of us who are that have become broken, and this is where you see people saying, "I ain't gonna be a nice person no more. I ain't looking out for nobody no more. I bet I ain't nobody asking me for nothing." No, 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 no. And I continually will always tell people, it's not that you're supposed to stop giving. You're never supposed to stop loving. You're never supposed to stop being kind. You're never supposed to stop being gentle. It's just that you have to recognize who you should be being these things with, in what environments you should be being these things in. So, case in point, if you're a very open and vulnerable person and you're at a bar, okay, late night with spirits taking on more spirits, is it safe to be vulnerable in this space and just with everybody? Probably not. And so here we understand and naturally establish boundaries that protect ourselves, because we wouldn't just be all willy-nilly in the bar, right? It's the same with our life in everyday occurrences. When it comes to our family members, our friends, our lovers, our neighbors, there has to be balance with your vulnerability. But most of us, let's say if we've been in bad relationships, this is where a lot of us trip up, right? Vulnerability, okay? Because I don't trust these niggas out here. I don't know, I don't trust these bitches out here, man. People be on the bullshit, so I gotta be, you know what I'm saying, on my T, okay? And I get it, I get it. But if you're following along with me, you will understand the importance and value of knowing yourself, healing yourself, and going through the stages of understanding who you are. And now you can feel a little safer in being vulnerable with people who may spark your passion, ignite your thought processes, or whatever it is that gets you going. But and you won't be making them responsible for whatever you're lacking. But that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that somewhere else. Right now, we're talking about vulnerability. So burning. Sometimes you can get burnt being vulnerable. This is so that you can learn to establish the feeling and frequency of danger to your vulnerability. Because as a vulnerable person, you are open to all kinds of things physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. I mean, to be vulnerable, to be a manifester, a true open manifester, you have to be vulnerable. In order to be a healer, you have to be vulnerable. In order to be a person who assists others and has to function in a way from your heart space, you have to be vulnerable. And so vulnerability burns you along the journey to help you become wise to how to help, when to help, where to help. Where should you be sacrificing your desires for the needs of others? That's important. If you should or shouldn't, you should know this. But this comes through self awareness, this comes through self healing, self knowledge, being one with yourself, okay? Representing you, being your authentic self, like, nah, that's okay, because see, that don't feel good to me. It might make you happy, but it don't feel good to me, so we ain't gonna do that. Okay, now, and then you got to get comfortable with that. Remember, along the journey, you're going to have to say a whole lot of no thank yous in a whole lot of different spaces to a whole lot of different energies, contracts, interactions, and things that are not in alignment with your assignment. And you have to do that. Self-discipline. So you will be burned until you learn, and you establish for yourself in your own compass of emotional understanding and guidance of which way to go, who to be messing with, who to be trusting, how things play out for you, you know what I'm saying? How to trust your intuition in these things. Now, once you learn, okay, because you're going to learn. Now, at what pace you learn, that's your own personal thing. And you should always be patient with yourself because everybody is at their own pace. So, and back, you know, I'm going to keep telling y'all, don't look at this person's test and try to copy the answers because you might just flunk out and crash out because you don't know what they learning, you don't know why they learning it. You got to know yourself. And you got to be in your own lane, in your own space, getting what you're here for. Okay, so now, when you learn, okay, learning looks different for different people. Sometimes learning is you having to go into solitude. Sometimes learning is you getting busted upside your head, oops, upside your head. I say oops, upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes learning is you done had to lose everything. Sometimes learning is your best friend just blatantly, you know what I'm saying, stabs you in the back. There's some major betrayal. There's something like big time. But here's the thing. These are learning experiences that allow you to further, okay, to further establish the things that you learn in the burn section. Okay, because you was burning until you was learning, and now that you learning, you got to grow into the learning. You got to understand that this thing is, it got levels to this shit, like, and it's cool, okay, because you have to be grateful to yourself for progressing through at each step. So when you notice that, you know, all right, I'm learning I'm vulnerable. I'm a vulnerable person. I'm just kind. I'm sensitive. I'm just a mush cake. Right now, you didn't learn this about yourself. You didn't learn that everybody is not necessarily deserving of that. You didn't learn, okay, through the burn. But now you have to learn how to properly use it. Okay, where do you use this sensitivity at? Because you don't have it for nothing. How do you properly use it? A lot of us, when we get to this stage, people want to, like, because this is a gift. It's a gift. And a lot of people slip up and they want to pander it. We're not supposed to pander, okay? The gift makes way for you, but you're not supposed to pander. And the reason you shouldn't pander is because, remember, you're open. You're vulnerable. You're sensitive to a lot of things. And so, therefore, you're open to a lot of things. And so, oftentimes, the people who are attracted to your energy are in a lower space and they can become codependent, envious, resentful, uh, all kinds of things. A little things that I don't like to say, right? But those things happen. And now you have to learn what that is and how to navigate it so that you can use what you have, your sensitivities, with confidence. You can be vulnerable with confidence because you don't have to worry about people taking advantage of you because you can sniff them because you've learned it. But if all you've been doing is getting burned, and you ain't never learning, the only thing you earning is a life of heartache. And that's not why you're a sensitive person. That's not why you are vulnerable. That's not what vulnerability means. Vulnerability for a chosen one is not victimhood. And a lot of us can fall into that space because people will victimize you. But those things are happening to you, mostly for you to grow in your compassion, which is necessary to be a healer, to be a leader, to be a teacher, to be, what was some of the other words I just used? I don't know. Whatever you're here to be. Okay, if you're a chosen one, you have a responsibility to other people. Okay, and so your life had to shape you and mold you into what was necessary for that to happen. But if you think that just because you're kind, people will be kind to you, you'll be getting burned a lot. And eventually you'll learn a lot. Now, the other thing to that is you earn a lot. Because you earn a lot of wisdom. You earn a lot of compassion. You earn a lot of happiness, joy, self-discipline, empathy. You earn in ways that others will not understand because you're working from a clean space. And that's what manifesting is all about. Like I told my listeners, a lot of you here on YouTube are new to me. Hi. Thanks for the new followers. I love y'all. Yeah. Y'all, what's up? Keep following. Tell friends. Subscribers, followers, whatever y'all do. Thank you. I love y'all. I love y'all all. But when you are vulnerable and you are a giver to others, your gift, okay, is to be a gift to them. Yeah. So when people fuck around, they're gonna find out. As long as you stay kind, stay evolving. But if you become a victim in it, oh, so and so did this to me, I can't believe they did that to me, and I can't believe they said this. No. Of course, you should reconcile it. You should look over it. You should understand, because remember, you're learning, you're taking lessons, and you have to understand different things, your reasonings, your moving, your everything. You got to understand energy. So once you get to a point of understanding, okay, I'm supposed to be vulnerable, you're also going to learn that you have earned a covering. Yeah. That's right, a covering. You get a covering. You earn a covering for your right behavior. You get right reward. Now, sure, someone that you could be sent to be a gift to a person. They could stone cold blast you off. You know what I mean? Like, boom. A prime example, I know a lady gave a man a ride one day. You know what I'm saying? She gave a man a ride. Instead of thanking her when he got out the car, he turned around and shot her. Didn't even know her. She just gave him a ride. Okay? So, things like this as a young person made me question humanity. Like, first of all, why am I, supposed to be sensitive? Why am I? And for a long time, I would hide my sensitivities to the point where people would project on me that I was heartless. Hey, I had to learn about projection. I got Neptune in the 12th house, y'all. That's it. People like to project their stuff on me. Unlike Neptune in the first house, I don't be letting that stuff stick. You know what I'm saying? Now, Neptune in the 12th house could let it stick if they not balancing their power and they don't understand. So this is why doing healing work is important. Okay, I tell y'all this stuff because I did it. I had to become this cool. I would probably be like crashed out in a prison somewhere if I had not embarked on this journey. Okay, I'm telling you right now. So what do you earn? You earn covering. The covering guarantees that things that are not in your alignment with your assignment or for your greatest good can't be around you. You know what I'm saying? People, places, they can't be around you. And so you could be just as vulnerable as ever. Okay, I had a situation where I was forced to continually be vulnerable in a space where the person, I don't know, I think they thought I was like weird or crazy or something, like, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's just I'm doing what I'm supposed to do now. Listen, understand this. Sometimes people you encounter that are burning you, or situations that you encounter that burn you, those things happen to learn you, right? But sometimes they happen to test you, to see if you understand what you learned. Do you remember what you learned? Can you exercise what you learned? And see, this is where you earn wisdom. Covering, wisdom. Okay, then now come on, the earnings is getting thick here. Okay, these are, I can't tell you now, there ain't no money gonna add up. Ain't no amount of money add up to wisdom. Okay, none. Matter of fact, wisdom make way for money. Again, your gift makes way for you. That's why you shouldn't pander. Don't pander. Don't be out here trying to pander your gift. Okay, now, what is pandering? Like, now, I don't even want to say it because people gonna get mad at me. But everyday tarot reading, pandering. That's pandering. That's pandering. That's a pandering act. It is. It is. It's like, first of all, I'm gonna tell y'all this about tarot. Tarot, the cards on a tarot is not gonna change for about 2 weeks. Okay, about 2 weeks. And that's if you done did something to make a change. Because if not, they're going to be saying the same shit over and over and over again. That's why some of these readers, you watch people be like, the same, why they keep saying that? Because you in the same energy, ain't nothing happening, ain't nothing shaking, ain't nothing moving in there, okay? And so guess what? Shit. If the message keep resonating the same, hell, in reality, they could be to send a whole new message. But the way you gonna hear it is adaptive to your situation in the right now. Because we relate at points of relativity. So unless it's something you can relate to, yeah. That's pandering. Okay? It's pandering. That's an act of pandering. But who am I? Nobody. Because I'm not judging. I'm just saying. So, you can do what you want to do. Okay, there's some readers out there, hey, I pray for them. I do, because I done seen some dirty things happen to people reading on YouTube. But learning, earning, burning. Now, you get this covering. You get what? Benefits. Yeah, earn benefits. What kind of benefits? Well, see, when you are in right behavior, getting right reward, you are at the benefit of God's wallet because, see, everything gets funded for you. Yeah. Matter of fact, I was tripping off on something earlier, and a friend had to remind me, like, well, wait a minute, is you the person to live out of God's wallet? Sure am. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am. I don't even know. But I'm human. We all do it. We all, you know what I'm saying? So, don't worry when you slip up in none of this. Just keep going. Okay? Because you're always, when you get burnt, it's for you to learn. When you learn, you're going to earn. Okay? Now, once you learn, how do they know you learn? Because you get tested. When you pass the test, you're going to get blessed. That's the way it goes. So, when people are not appreciative of your vulnerabilities, okay, so let's say you're the person who gave somebody a ride and you wasn't nothing but good to this person, and instead of saying thank you, they turn around and shot you in the face. There is a consequence for that, okay? Now, this is where a lot of people fuck up at. They think they the consequence. Okay, I'm going to show them I'm not going to help them no more. I'm going to be mean to them. Well, see, now, if you be mean, what are you? You are outside of your assignment. You're out of alignment, okay? And I tell you this, I'm trying to think of a good story to share for this because, woo, I got a lot of them. I got, I got a lot of stories, y'all. But I tell you what, I'll tell you a lot of stories, but I will never tell you no lie. These be real stories, real events, okay? And so, yeah. All right. Here you go. Guy at his job, right? So I'm working with him. I'm kind to him, everything, because I'm just a kind person. He think he playing on my top, you know what I'm saying? But my Neptune in the 12th house, I could sense that he think he playing on my top, like real snot. Like he think he really playing with me. So he, like ask me little questions and stuff. I will always be kind to him and stuff. So one day, I come to work and he like doubled back for some reason. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, I ain't even gonna scratch that. I'm about to tell y'all this story. But these people, they was playing with my top. They thought I was too cool for school. And this, you can look this up. Okay, so this is a legal case. Okay, my legal name. You can research it. Okay, in court documents. So nonetheless, working at this company, and I'm a kind person. I love people. I love what I do, which is why I did it. You know what I mean? I just really love working with people. And so I'm working at this company, and I'm transferred to this company because of an attachment that I have to the guy that I'm working with. So when I get here and stuff, I'm also kind of silly. If you know me in real life, I'm really silly to people who don't understand my higher talk. Like, if I can't talk my talk with you, then you're probably getting a lot of jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, in real life, if you're talking to me. Or I'm probably quiet, like, real quiet. So, it depends. So, anyway, I'm like the kind of the bubbly, like, I play with the clients and stuff. But I had moved up, and they had I wanted to move up. Okay, and so now they trying to play on my top and play with my kindness and my openness, my vulnerability, right? They think I'm a fool. So they start telling me all of this stuff, but come to find out they really just was racist and just thought they was going to string me along short of the story. So as a result, you know, they end up trying to show me off. Like, this is the thing, okay, about people who take advantage of your vulnerability or think you're stupid. They believe you're beneath them. Okay? So this is why you can embrace your vulnerability at all points in life. Because you really have the upper hand. Okay? And this, I'm saying this publicly to any person who feel like, man, I'm just too nice, I'm too kind, why I can't change this shit. Believe me, I done struggled with it my whole life. Like, man, why the fuck am I made like this? Like, fuck, why can't I just be mean? Like, why I can't not give a fuck? Now, sometimes I can. Like, you can get me there. But for the most part, I'm just kind. Now, you can get me there now. Don't be. I'm not that vulnerable because I have boundaries. Like I'm gonna eventually set a boundary with your ass. Like yeah, right here is where the buck stops. But anyway, uh, so anyway, they thinking they playing with my top, dangling this little job in front of me and a little promotion and some money and nonsense until they figured out that y'all got the right one. They didn't know about the children's service version of me. They didn't know how I keep paperwork and know how to write some things down. Now I'm about to tell this because I done told y'all now, and I was talking to them, and we always try to tell people the wrong that they doing to us. They know the wrong they doing to you. So at some point along the journey, you're going to learn after a few burns that when people doing you off the top, let them think they doing you, okay? But cut it. Cut it. Don't explain it. Because you don't have to tell them like, oh, well, see, the problem is you did this to me and you did that to me and you said this and I don't think you should have said that and I feel this way because no, because see they know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. Okay, remember you're beneath them. You are beneath them and they over top of you. Okay, they playing off your top. Remember that. That's what I mean by playing off your top. That a person think they is above you, okay, and they playing off your top. Now when a person is here, as the person that is the vulnerable person, you are in control. Let me let you know this. Why? Because see, this person needs your top to feel like they on top of something. Yeah. See, they need something beneath them. Okay? So the moment that you stand up and they realize, oh shit, they not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because see, they're going to try to find ways to bring you off of that. But if you embrace your vulnerability, okay, you understand, I am made this way, but I am not made to be taken advantage of. I am made this way, but I'm not made to be made a fool of. And so you will learn, unfortunately, through a myriad of life experiences over time, how to understand when somebody thinks they're playing with your top and how to respond. If not, you are a perpetual victim. And that's not what you're sensitive for. It's not sensitive for people to victimize. Okay? So be responsible. Okay? For those of you new to me, I have a saying, be me-sponsible. Me-sponsible means that I'm responsible to me first. To me first. Of all of the responsibilities I've had on this planet, the greatest one was myself, and for so long I neglected it to help others, and even sometimes now today, in small ways, I'll be like, well maybe, because I'll be getting learnings and burning and earning. That's the way this thing goes. I saw someone say, is healing perpetual? No, you're not perpetually healing. Okay, you go through the healing as a process of understanding yourself and why you went through certain things. You accept it, you become stronger from it, and now you earn the badge of it and you go forward. But if you're perpetually anything at any place or state on this earth of impermanence, like we live in impermanence, there's nothing the same ever. Okay, that's the one thing you know is change. Something gonna change. If it ain't the hour hand, the second hand, there's constant change. Okay, and so with that, we have to constantly change too by evolving to new versions of ourselves. And this happens through learning. So when we go through stuff and we see things that don't feel good to us, that isn't necessarily because we're a victim or we're supposed to stay there or we're being punished. We're merely there so that we can grow, so that we can become the greatest version of ourselves as we navigate this journey. But if we don't do that, we're just wasting time. I asked my son, your whole journey here, what would it be if you ended it being used by everyone and everything but God? Imagine that. That's a wasteful life. And it's the life none of us want. And in order for us to work for God, which is the collective, the all, oneness, then we have to be vulnerable. And accepting that vulnerability and embracing it is undoubtedly necessary to be the best version of yourself for all of humanity, who is what you're doing it for. So when you find that you're the sacrificial lamb in life, or when you find that you are the oftentimes the mad or the person taken advantage of or overlooked or underappreciated, know that those things are not happening to punish you. Those things are not curses unless you're cursing them and going round and round because you're not appreciating the lesson in them and growing to the greatest version of yourself. Because why else would it happen? If you have never read my book, I encourage you to go out and do so now. You can find it at my website, www.politsaint.com, and get you a copy, get a friend a copy, read it together. Because you're going to find that in order to get here, it took a whole lot of darkness, round and round and rounds, a whole lot of learning, a whole lot of burning. But in the end, I am the earner. So, I encourage people every day, be grateful for what you're going through, no matter what it is. Matter of fact, I'm most grateful for the things that feel the worst because they give me the most character. And that's what makes us the greatest version of ourselves. I'm the Poet Saint, and I really, really hope that this message today helps somebody to remember it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be open. It's okay to be honest. It's okay to be free. It's okay to be liberated. It's okay to be you, because everything else is secondary to unnecessary. Not everybody is blessed with being kind. Not everybody is blessed with being honest. Not everybody is blessed with being empathetic and sensitive or being able to connect to others. And so, yeah, sometimes it hurts and sometimes it sucks. But I'm going to guarantee you, I don't make promises, but I guarantee you, if you embrace your sensitivities, your vulnerabilities, and you trust God, you don't have to worry about man and their nasty plans or what they do, because there's always going to be a suffering, like the company that y'all can go and look that up. What happened to them? Be yourself everywhere you go, to everyone, in the most authentic way. And when people, how did they try to play on my the job? Well, because they were racist, they were like telling me things like they were going to give me this promotion if I did certain things. So after I would do that thing, then they started with other things like one of the things was I couldn't get the promotion after I had done like all of the stuff, right? Then I couldn't get the promotion until I found someone to replace me in my position, because the person who had been there, who should have taken my position, was an African, and they didn't like white women. And the company was owned by a group of women who were, and so they next we're in a meeting, and they're sitting there one day in this meeting talking about niggers. Am I supposed to say that word on here? This is why I didn't want to elaborate. Y'all know I don't be having no filter. But anyway, so they started saying that. You know what I'm saying? And then they tried to take me out to lunch and tell me like, oh, we just saying, that's how the wife of the person they were discussing talked to him at their house. Some playing on my top. Now, with some old racist stuff. Then they started with talking about like my hair, my dress code, like my clothes, and how they want me to dress, Like we all know, right? How I dress, obviously, right, is androgynous. So now you're trying to tell me that I need to put on a dress or something to come up in here. You know, playing on my top, playing on my top. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like giving me like mad reviews, oh you the best. You keep giving me raises and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up in court with them being found guilty on multiple counts of uh, harassment, discrimination, uh, retaliation against me for my race, my sex, my sexual preference. You know what I'm saying? And not only me, but the culture of it. And so that could be found, if you just Google Monicaville against the, you know, but if y'all want to know that, y'all can inbox me. I will gladly give y'all the information. And y'all can Google it because I hear it is actually one of the most referred to cases in the state of Ohio for discriminatory practices. So that's me. I'm that person. I got lots of little, accomplishments like that in life. But hey, that's because I don't like to be done wrong. I don't like when people do people wrong, right? So that's part of my sensitivities too. My Pisces placements are in my Mercury, Venus, third house, and then I got Neptune in the 12th house. So yeah, and I don't really like injustice too much. Um, with a Virgo North Node, I'm just that person that's listen. I'm not with none of this shit. Like I like things to be right, fair, and honest, or let get out of here, shit. So yeah. So anyway, but y'all can look that up, and that's how it ended. Yep. They so there is always a reward. Now, me, what did I get? Well, I got the satisfaction of knowing that really all I wanted from them was an apology letter and a statement saying that they would redo their practices to not treat people that way, and they clearly still treat people a way that they shouldn't, I guess, because people are using it. So, yeah. But nonetheless, always stay open, stay vulnerable. I'm telling you, it's so many situations, but I just like to keep living because a lot of it just made me a better person, but it also showed me and taught me the darkness of humanity and people, and pushed me to look at things from perspectives that I probably would have never looked at had I never had the experiences that I've had in my life. And so when you find yourself in situations where you are uncomfortable or people don't treat you the best, instead of becoming the victim to those situations, let this video always be a reminder to you to look at ways to find out what did you learn, how did it grow you, in what way did it teach you compassion, in what way did it save you, because that is the ultimate thing. I've never actually had an encounter in my life that was not good to me, that didn't serve me. It served me in the greatest ways just later, did I discover that. And so as you're going through, this is why I always tell people stay grateful, along the journey, because if you're grateful, okay, if you're grateful, God is faithful. You're going to be covered. You're going to have the earnings. You're going to have the blessings. And I know that sounds like a fantasy. I had somebody tell me last night, but see, that's not the reality of life. It's the reality of my life. Okay, in my life. I'm so protected at this point. If you don't have good intentions for me, I'm telling you something to visit you and tell you, like, leave her alone. Get away from her. Like, or something to happen to you. Because I'm that, and I earned it. I earned it because when people was burning me, I never sought retaliation. I never decided to be not kind. I've never decided not to be me. Matter of fact, I've learned to be even kinder. I've learned to be even more compassionate. I've learned to be even more patient. I've learned to have a greater level of self-discipline. I've learned to be more forgiving. I've learned to be more empathetic. I've learned to be things that only support my vulnerability. So, I'm saying this to say Don't let your experiences harden your heart because that's not what they're made for. Well, they are. Attacks come to get you off your game. That's true. But we ain't focusing on that because all of us are here to fulfill a mission that our ancestors had. They betting on us. Somebody betting on you. So I'm betting on you. You betting on you. I'm betting on me because we all are one. This is all one life cycle. It doesn't matter man, woman, child, black, white, Mexican, Spanish, African, Ethiopian, Catholic, Christian. If you have your mind set on being an open, honest vessel for life, you're protected. Everything else secondary and unnecessary. And you do your job. You just let everybody else do theirs. Their job is just to recognize that people have jobs to keep you off of yours. So, being vulnerable, yes, it can be a little uncomfortable and it can be challenging, but you're worth it and you're worthy. And so, make sure that you're applying this principle as you're going through this journey, and you find situations where sometimes people aren't the nicest, and sometimes people don't recognize what you are, but you still got to keep being it. And that's because you're really not being it for them, you're being it for the collective. I love y'all, and I hope that this message helps somebody to remember. This is Sunday. It's raining here. I'm going to enjoy the little downfall. Probably, I don't know. I might even watch a movie today. I don't know. Like, I've been having this, like, need to watch a movie. I don't even know why. Like, what movie? Like, do y'all got any movies to suggest? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I don't really watch TV, but it's been, like, something telling me to watch a movie. I don't know. Maybe I'll find a love story to watch or something like that. Who knows? But other than that, it's a chill day. Well, it's raining here, but that don't mean y'all shouldn't go out and be a big kid, right? Go out and be big kid Sunday. Matter of fact, I might even go out and play in the rain. That might be what I do because it is Big Kid Sunday, and I need a little bit of refresher, something to wipe off, wash off some things. Really, it's springtime coming. It's about to be the New Year's spring equinox. And I hope y'all ready to be ready because there's about to be some big things coming to everybody's way across the whole entire planet. And I hope that you one of the people that's getting some of it. And the way that you assure that is by being in right behavior, getting right reward, standing on business, being your best self, knowing yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, representing yourself out here to the greatest capacity. I love y'all, and I hope that this message resonated with somebody and helped somebody to remember you're amazing. I love y'all. Peace and wellness. Oh, thanks for all the new subscribers. Remember, when I get to 250, I'm giving something away. So tell your friends to get up in here. I told y'all, start just spam people with me. I love y'all. Peace.